How does a genre once confined to church stages suddenly share the spotlight with the biggest names in global music? Today, we witness a milestone moment as singer-songwriter Brandon Lake becomes the first Christian artist ever featured on Amazon's Songline, joining the ranks of icons like Billie Eilish and Ed Sheeran. It's not just an achievement for one artist. It signals a shift in the way Christian music is viewed, consumed, and valued. For years, Christian musicians have fought for visibility beyond their dedicated fan base, often praised within their communities, yet overlooked by mainstream platforms. And now, a door previously sealed tight has finally opened. Songline, a space designed to take listeners beyond melodies and into the heart of songwriting, is welcoming a voice shaped by faith, worship, and personal conviction. Brandon Lake isn't just entering a new arena. He's helping change the rules of who gets to stand on music's biggest storytelling stage. For millions of listeners, Songline offers something far more meaningful than playlists or promotions. It gives audiences a personal connection to music by walking them through the inspiration behind the lyrics. That's why Brandon Lake's involvement is so significant. His work thrives on storytelling, with themes of redemption, hope, struggle, and spiritual awakening. Whether fans realize it or not, his music often mirrors deeply human experiences that reach far beyond religion. By bringing Lake into its circle, Amazon is acknowledging that Christian music is not just devotional content for Sunday mornings. It's art capable of stirring emotion and sparking conversations like any other genre. Placing him beside artists such as Billie Eilish and Ed Sheeran sets a powerful precedent. It challenges assumptions, expands the definition of mainstream music, and encourages listeners to consider new narratives they may have overlooked before. This partnership also raises an intriguing question. What does it really mean for Christian music to step into the mainstream? Some believe it risks losing its spiritual depth, while others see limitless opportunity. Yet Brandon Lake's trajectory suggests that the message does not have to be diluted to reach more people. Instead, wider exposure can give faith-inspired music a bigger platform to communicate its stories authentically. Lake's style has already been evolving, blending modern production with raw, emotional lyrics that resonate with audiences who may never step inside a church. Songline's audience, diverse in taste and background, will now encounter songs shaped by faith, not as preaching, but as honest expressions of creativity. In a world saturated with love ballads, heartbreak anthems, and dance tracks, Lake offers something different. Music rooted in purpose, reflecting inner transformation, and inviting listeners to think beyond the surface. For fans, this collaboration is more than an exciting feature. It's a chance to explore the artist behind the voice. Songline will likely reveal what motivates Lake, how his life experiences shape his writing, and why his creative process feels deeply personal. Listeners may discover that his spiritual foundation is not merely a label, but a source of meaning and direction, influencing his words, his choices, and his sound. This exposure could inspire young Christian musicians who dream of breaking into the industry, but assume their message limits their reach. Watching Lake stand shoulder to shoulder with leading global artists sends a message loud and clear. Faith-based music is not confined to one audience. Its impact can extend anywhere. Sincerity, emotion, and authenticity are valued. And perhaps the most compelling part is that Songline isn't just showcasing a Christian artist. It's recognizing Christian storytelling as part of the world's musical narrative. Amazon's decision reflects broader trends in how music is being consumed today. Listeners are no longer limited by genre categories, radio formats, or social stereotypes. With streaming platforms offering instant access to global content, people discover music based on emotion, storytelling, and personal identity rather than labels. Christian music, once boxed into a niche market, is now crossing cultural borders and surprising audiences who never expected to connect with it. Brandon Lake's placement on a platform like Songline is a sign that faith-inspired music can coexist with mainstream sounds without compromising its message. Instead of hiding behind a genre boundary, it can meet listeners where they are, offering truth, creativity, and passion in a world often overwhelmed by noise. The question is no longer whether Christian music belongs in the mainstream. The question is who will follow Lake's lead and seize this opportunity. Industry experts predict that Lake's feature could reshape how record labels and streaming services view Christian artists. This shift may open more doors for musicians who have long been overlooked despite dedicated audiences and strong online presence. If mainstream platforms begin to seek out diverse voices within Christian music, we could witness new collaborations, expanded tours, and more inclusive musical events. Imagine worship artists working alongside pop producers, gospel singers featured in international festivals, and lyrical themes of hope and spirituality embraced by broader audiences. It's an evolution that could blur the lines between sacred and mainstream art, creating space for music driven by conviction rather than commercial expectation. Brandon Lake's involvement isn't just a personal achievement. It could become a model for how the industry adapts to changing cultural tastes. Critics may argue that mainstream recognition risks turning Christian music into a trend rather than a meaningful genre. Yet, history shows that powerful art can influence culture without losing its essence. Just as soul music reshaped social narratives and country music expanded into global markets, Christian music now has a chance to redefine itself for a wider audience. The key lies in authenticity, maintaining the heart of the message while embracing innovative forms of expression. Brandon Lake's songwriting, known for emotional vulnerability and spiritual reflection, demonstrates that music grounded in faith can still compete with major commercial hits. Its impact doesn't rely on chart rankings, but on human experiences captured through sound. As listeners explore his work on Songline, they may discover that spiritual themes are not exclusive. They are universal ideas of purpose, struggle, hope, and transformation. The ripple effect of this collaboration will likely extend far beyond Brandon Lake's career. Supporters of Christian music might feel encouraged to explore other artists who bring similar depth and perspective. Meanwhile, listeners unfamiliar with the genre may find themselves unexpectedly moved by songs woven with faith and honesty. This exchange of ideas fosters greater understanding across diverse communities, emphasizing that music can bridge belief systems, cultural backgrounds, and personal journeys. What began as a single partnership could eventually expand into a movement where Christian musicians become a regular presence in mainstream creative spaces. As new artists step forward, empowered by Lake's achievement, they may redefine how spiritual art contributes to global entertainment. In the end, Brandon Lake's inclusion on Amazon's Songline is more than a headline. It is a historic moment with lasting implications. It challenges long-standing assumptions about what belongs in popular music and encourages audiences to listen with open minds. His presence among global superstars like Billie Eilish and Ed Sheeran marks a cultural turning point, signaling that Christian music has earned a place on the world stage. As listeners tune into his story, they are not just hearing melodies. They are experiencing a shift in how art, identity, and spirituality intersect in modern music. Whether this momentum continues depends on the artists willing to follow his path and the audiences willing to embrace new voices. But one thing is clear: Brandon Lake has opened a door, and the sound of Christian music will never be silenced to the sidelines again.